Welcome to this week's episode where I'm going to talk about the dialogues that our inner child can have with us and how to have conversations that actually help with healing and growth. Now, I don't normally like to say healing because I don't believe we are broken. I really don't. I believe that there's more of awareness. So let's use the word awareness. Now, I'm going to talk about three main points. So, recognizing how your inner child speaks to you, healing through inner conversations, and integrating your inner child into your business for success. Let's have a look at the first one. So, recognizing how your inner child speaks to you. And there's subtle ways that your inner child makes itself known in everyday life. So, sometimes we don't even realize that our inner child is speaking because it doesn't always use words. Sometimes it can do. It could be the sting that you feel when you're left out, the panic when someone disapproves of you, or the overwhelming need to please. And this was one for me. I was an absolute people pleaser, and also the sting of feeling left out. It does actually happen. And these aren't random reactions. They are often echoes of the younger versions of ourselves asking to be seen, comforted, or protected. So please be compassionate with yourself. Be aware that this is happening, and then we can move on from there doing beautiful things. Now, our fears and triggers and patterns actually often stem from childhood wounds. So, our fears and emotional patterns usually don't start in adulthood. We are vulnerable as a child. And so, when a parent, teacher, etc., says something, that's what we take on. And so, think about the fear of rejection. Maybe it came from not being chosen on the playground, or the pattern of overworking to prove your worth. I actually end up doing that in my working life. And I thankfully recognize the pattern because I used to do like double shifts and lots of overtime. And I got to the point where, you know what? No, this is actually harming me because I was just working so much. And so I let go of actually working those extra hours. I would say, okay, I'm going to do an hour. In the meantime, you'll get on the phone and you'll find somebody else. Because I knew that if I did more than an hour's overtime, it's not good. And it could also stem from needing to earn love or praise as a child. So recognizing that this isn't about blame, it's about gently tracing that thread back to where it began. Now, journaling prompts can actually help identify your inner child's needs. So try this. Write a letter that starts, "Dear little me, what do you need today?" Then pause, breathe, and let your pen move. You may be surprised by what comes up because you're not thinking about it. You're letting your hand just do the work. And another prompt could be, what made me feel safe and loved as a child? These questions can help bridge the gap between your present self and the parts of you still wanting to be heard. Now, that's a big one, wanting to be heard. For me, my father's not alive anymore, and my mum, we don't have a great relationship. So that can be a great journal prompt for me to actually be heard without needing my parents to be here. Something to think about if your parents are not around, either physically or, emotionally. And so healing through these inner conversations. We talked about the journaling. So how can you safely connect with your inner child through meditation or visualization? A beautiful way to connect with your inner child is through simple visualizations. So you just close your eyes, you imagine a safe place, so maybe a garden, a room, a beach, And then you picture your younger self there. Sit beside them. Ask them how they're feeling. Let it be simple, gentle, because you're opening the door. Now, I like to use the word imagine because some people can't actually see anything. You may hear, you may know. So change the script to match how it actually will work for you because there's no one way of doing anything. Now, writing letters to give your inner child the love, validation, and reassurance they need is so powerful because nobody else needs to know about any of this. It's only for you. And writing letters to your inner child is powerful. You might say things like, I see you. I know it was hard. You never should have had to go through that alone. And when you write from the voice of your loving adult self, you're literally reparenting those younger parts and giving them the care that they may have missed. And that can be tough. So please always give yourself love and compassion. Now, bringing in more play, joy, and creativity in your life is a healing medicine because healing doesn't always need to look serious. It can look like finger painting, dancing in the kitchen, or blowing bubbles in a park. So when you engage in the playful creative activities, you're actually letting your inner child know it is safe to be joyful. It is okay to play again. The joy is medicine, and it's so good to have that medicine. Now, I don't talk about integrating your inner child into your business, but we'll look at a couple of things to actually help with understanding. So, recognizing when your inner child is leading your business decisions, and you don't want your inner child to do this. Your children should not be a part of business. So, being aware of this will help you understand that your inner child's come and it's actually leading the business decisions. So have you ever launched something and then panicked when no one responded immediately? Or maybe you felt crushed by a bit of criticism. This is not often not your adult self reacting. It's your inner child. Maybe it's that part of you that needs instant praise or was afraid of getting it wrong. And recognizing this can shift everything. It's powerful. So healing child wounds around money, visibility, or feeling good enough. And within my work, many people have had this feeling of not being good enough. Because many of us carry the deep childhood programming around money, like there's never enough, or I'm not worthy of abundance. Or maybe we learned that being visible wasn't safe. And healing those beliefs means nurturing the parts of us that felt that shame, fear, scarcity, and instead replacing them with grounded truths. And when you create a self-supportive environment so your inner child feels safe to thrive, it is amazing what happens in your life. Because when your inner child feels safe, you make bolder moves in your business. And that safety can come from daily check-ins, setting boundaries, or having a calming ritual before making a big decision. And what you're doing is you're showing your inner child, I've got you. We're not in this alone. And that is the energy that leads to aligned success. So today we've been talking about our inner child and how to have conversations for awareness and growth. We looked at recognizing how your inner child speaks to you. We've looked at the awareness through inner conversations and integrating your inner child into your business for success, and not necessarily integrating, just understanding, having the awareness of how the inner child shows up. Thank you very much for watching and listening.